Life is often unpredictable. One moment, you might be living in a comfortable home, surrounded by family and friends, with a steady job and a promising future ahead of you. The next moment, it can feel like the world has crumbled beneath your feet, and you're left with nothing but the cold embrace of despair. This was the reality for Michael, a man who once had everything and then lost it all. His journey from the streets to becoming a successful CEO is a testament to the power of resilience, determination, and the ability to never give up, no matter how tough life gets.
Michael had grown up in a small town, where he lived with his parents in a modest home. He had always been a hard-working individual, excelling in school and dreaming of making it big. After finishing college, he landed a job in a corporate firm. It was everything he had worked for: prestige, a steady paycheck, and a bright future. But then, life threw him a curveball. His company went bankrupt, and suddenly, Michael found himself without a job. The months went by quickly, and the financial strain began to take its toll. Bills piled up, and the stress of not being able to provide for himself and his family wore him down. One thing led to another, and before he knew it, he had lost his apartment. The weight of his failures seemed too much to bear. With nowhere else to go, Michael ended up on the streets. It was a far cry from the life he once knew. The city, once a place of opportunity, now felt like a cold, indifferent place. He slept in alleyways, scavenged for food, and struggled to stay warm on freezing nights. Michael's pride was shattered. He never thought he would be here, not in a million years. But every day, he reminded himself that it wasn't over yet. He wasn't going to let the streets define who he was. In those dark times, he found solace in one thing: his mind. He would spend hours reading books he found in libraries, listening to podcasts on personal growth, and writing in a journal he managed to get his hands on. Even though his body was broken, his mind stayed sharp. One afternoon, while sitting in the park, Michael overheard a conversation between two strangers. They were talking about a small business startup. One of them mentioned how they'd gone from nothing to something simply by taking a chance, working tirelessly, and never giving up. Something sparked inside Michael. Could this be the opportunity he needed? Could this be his way out? It was a small glimmer of hope, but for the first time in months, he felt a sense of purpose. That evening, Michael made a decision that would change his life forever. He was done feeling sorry for himself. He was done letting the world dictate his future. He would take that spark of hope and turn it into a flame. With no money, no connections, and no resources, Michael set out to start his own business. It wasn't easy. He had to beg for small jobs, work on odd tasks, and learn everything he could about running a business from the ground up. At first, things were slow. Michael faced rejection after rejection. He was turned down by investors, laughed at by business owners, and constantly reminded of how little he had. But each rejection only fueled his desire to succeed. He began to learn from his mistakes, adapting, improving, and pushing forward. His first project was small, a graphic design service he offered to local businesses. He used free tools and worked from coffee shops. Slowly but surely, he built a reputation for himself. His designs were unique, his work ethic was unmatched, and people began to notice. Then, one day, after years of hard work, Michael received an email that changed everything. It was from a major company interested in hiring him for a large project. The project would be his big break, and he knew that if he didn't mess it up, it could take his business to new heights. Michael worked day and night, pouring everything he had into that project. The pressure was immense, but he thrived under it. When the project was finally completed, the client was so impressed that they recommended him to others. Soon, Michael's business started growing rapidly. He began to hire a team of designers, developers, and marketers, building a company from the ground up. He learned the ins and outs of entrepreneurship, constantly pushing himself to be better. His journey was far from over, but he had finally found the success he had been working for. Years later, Michael stood in front of a crowd at a business conference. He was now the CEO of a successful design company, a multimillion-dollar business with clients all over the world. As he looked out at the audience, he couldn't help but think back to those cold nights on the streets, when he thought he would never escape. But he had. And now, he was using his success to give back. He founded a program to help people experiencing homelessness and taught them the skills they needed to rebuild their lives. He knew firsthand how difficult it was to start over, and he wanted to be the mentor that so many people never had. If you're enjoying Michael's incredible story of transformation, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with someone who might need a little motivation today. Michael's story didn't stop there. As the CEO of his company, he faced new challenges: competition, market changes, and pressure to innovate. But none of these things scared him. In fact, they drove him even harder. He knew that if he could overcome homelessness, he could overcome anything. He began to mentor young entrepreneurs, teaching them not only about business but about the mindset it takes to succeed. Never give up, he would say. The world may seem against you, but it's your perseverance that will set you apart. Michael's story is not just one of personal success. It's a message of hope for anyone who feels like they've hit rock bottom. It's a reminder that no matter how hard life gets, you have the power to change your circumstances. It won't be easy, and it won't happen overnight, but with determination and a refusal to give up, you can turn your life around. So, if you're facing a tough situation right now, take a page from Michael's book. Keep pushing, keep learning, and keep moving forward. You're capable of more than you think. If you've been inspired by Michael's journey from homelessness to becoming a CEO, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to Spark Vision for more motivational stories, and share this video with someone who could use a little extra encouragement today.